Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. NYT The Athletic celebrates China competing Eileen Gu while scolding US hockey team over Trump visit. The New York Times sports section, The Athletic, published articles this week celebrating Eileen Gu, an American-born Olympic skier who chose to compete for China, and criticizing the US men's Olympic hockey team for agreeing to visit with President Donald Trump after their gold medal win. The analysis piece about Gu, headlined Inside the Mind of Eileen Gu, Winter Olympic Superstar, and so much more, noted that the athlete has won the most gold medals of any free skier and was the highest earner at the Olympics. With 3 silvers and 3 golds to her name across 2 Olympics, Gu is a freak of nature, extraordinary in every sense of the word. So what is next for a young woman who seems to have it all? The Times analysis said. The story quoted Gu talking about her events. I guess it's more like, I don't know, it's very honest. It makes you look in the mirror and see who you are. You can't lie to yourself. The work you've done or haven't, Gu said, per The Athletic. The Wall Street Journal reported in early February that Gu and another Olympic athlete were set to be paid a combined $6.6 million in 2025 by the Beijing Municipal Sports Bureau, citing a public budget that was released in early 2025. Gu and the other athlete were set to be paid $14 million in total over the past 3 years by the Bureau, according to the journal. The piece noted criticism of Gu, reporting that some may question her honesty and values because of the journal's reporting. However, the piece continued, you would be forgiven if you thought Gu was a quasi-human robot expertly created by artificial intelligence, so eloquent are her responses to the media, but she is not immune to pressure, and after losing her balance on her first run in the halfpipe, she felt it. Yet Gu bet on herself, not only in this event, but even daring to compete in 3 Winter Olympic events, slopestyle, halfpipe, and big air, the only female freestyle skier to do so, The Athletic's analysis said. Despite all the praise for Gu, The Athletic's Jerry Brewer admonished the U.S. men's hockey team in a piece published Tuesday headlined, The U.S. men's Olympic hockey team won gold, and then lost the room. Brewer wrote that typically, speaking to the president after winning gold and agreeing to visit would be part of an obligatory celebration, but that it was different with Trump in office. But this isn't a neutral climate. This isn't a neutral president. And in a nation this polarized, the proximity carries weight whether the players are being intentional or merely naive. America no longer experiences these rituals in the same way, and it may never again. Athletes would be wise to recognize that, in this climate, celebration is easily repurposed into political capital, he wrote. The hockey team neither created this divide nor possessed a shrewd political instinct to wrap their victory in a partisan glow. But when they stepped so early into that embrace, they narrowed their moment, Brewer continued. It doesn't ruin what they accomplished in defeating a seemingly indomitable Canadian squad. But the widespread celebration is over now. And some of their goodwill has diminished. Brewer argued the athletes needed to be more savvy and said they misread the moment. These champions have agency, he wrote. In the afterglow of triumph, they have more agency than they ever will. They should be wary of giving it away so casually. Contradictions on ice, media narratives, Eileen Gu, and the NYT athletic divide. In the modern world of sports, the games are no longer played solely on fields, rinks, and slopes. They unfold just as intensely in newsrooms, opinion columns, and social media timelines. Athletes compete for medals, but media narratives compete for influence. Few stories capture this collision more vividly than the contrasting reactions to 2 seemingly unrelated events: the celebration of freestyle skier Eileen Gu, who chose to represent China instead of the United States, and the criticism directed at the U.S. women's hockey team for visiting former President Donald Trump. Both stories appeared in the orbit of The Athletic, the sports journalism platform owned by the New York Times. To some observers, the coverage exposed an uncomfortable tension in modern media, the selective framing of patriotism, politics, and identity in sports. This contrast, one athlete praised for competing against the United States while another American team was chastised for engaging with an American political figure, raises larger questions about media bias, cultural narratives, and the evolving meaning of national loyalty in sports. The rise of Eileen Gu. Eileen Gu's story reads like a global fairy tale. Born in San Francisco to an American father and a Chinese mother, Gu grew up straddling 2 cultures. A prodigy on skis, she quickly rose through the ranks of freestyle skiing, winning competitions with a style that blended athletic precision with artistic flair. By her teenage years, she was widely recognized as one of the most promising athletes in the sport. But in 2019, Gu made a decision that stunned many American sports fans. She announced that she would compete for China instead of the United States. Her explanation emphasized cultural identity and a desire to inspire young Chinese athletes. Gu framed the choice not as a rejection of America but as an embrace of her Chinese heritage. "When I'm in the US, I'm American. When I'm in China, I'm Chinese." To many observers, her decision symbolized the increasingly global nature of modern identity. Athletes today often navigate multiple cultural affiliations, and international sports provide a stage where those identities play out. When Gu went on to win multiple medals at the Beijing Winter Olympics, including gold, she became a national hero in China. Her face appeared on billboards, advertisements, and magazine covers across the country. In Western media outlets, including The Athletic, her story was frequently portrayed as inspirational, a young woman bridging cultures, succeeding on the world stage, and reshaping the traditional narrative of national allegiance. But not everyone saw it that way. Critics argued that Gu had effectively chosen to compete against the country that trained her, benefiting from American infrastructure and opportunities before representing a geopolitical rival. Supporters countered that athletes have the right to represent whichever nation they feel connected to. After all, sports have long been filled with competitors switching national teams due to heritage, training opportunities, or personal choice. Yet the debate around Gu was not purely about sports. It was also about politics, media framing, and cultural symbolism. The US hockey team and the Trump visit. While Gu's story was framed by many journalists as a celebration of cross-cultural identity, another sports story sparked a very different tone. Members of the US women's national hockey team reportedly visited former President Donald Trump. The visit quickly became a subject of commentary within sports media circles. In coverage and commentary from The Athletic and other outlets, some writers criticized the team or raised concerns about the optics of